Hey, and welcome to CBR. Iron Man's sacrifice in Avengers Endgame was essential for closing his character arc and enabling the MCU's evolution. It symbolized his transformation from selfish to selfless, marking a pivotal emotional moment. Why Iron Man died. Tony Stark's journey in the MCU is one of serious personal growth. When we first met him in Iron Man, Tony's this arrogant billionaire, living the high life with little care for anyone outside his own circle. He's all about his company, making weapons and enjoying the perks of being rich and powerful. At this point, he's more of a playboy than a hero. He doesn't seem to care about the consequences of what he's creating, let alone the people who might be hurt by it. As the MCU goes on, Tony faces challenges that really push him to grow, in both his solo films and in other MCU films like the Avengers movie, Captain America Civil War, and Spider-Man Homecoming. By the time we get to Avengers Endgame, Tony's transformation is complete. In the end, he's not the same guy who used to throw around snarky one-liners and create weapons for profit. He's grown into a selfless hero who understands the weight of his decisions. When he makes the ultimate choice to sacrifice himself to use the Infinity Stones and defeat Thanos, it's the final step in his arc. He's gone from a man who made weapons of mass destruction to one who's ready to die to save everybody else. Tony's death in Endgame is more than just a plot point, it's a huge moment for the MCU. Sacrifice has been a key theme throughout the franchise, but Tony's sacrifice stands out because of his journey. His death is the ultimate symbol of what being a hero is really about. Not just fighting bad guys, but being willing to give up something that means everything to you for the good of others.
Tony Stark, I'm totally fangirling.
Oh, same here. We can swap autographs after the fight.
For over a decade, Iron Man was the face of the franchise. His journey started in 2008, and every major story in the MCU had some connection to him. He wasn't just a hero, he was the foundation for the whole cinematic universe. Tony's passing also marked the end of an era for the MCU. He's been one of the central figures for over a decade, so when he died, it's not just a loss for the characters, it's the end of the original Avengers team. The original Avengers had their time, and their arcs were pretty much finished by Endgame, and they couldn't keep carrying the weight of the MCU forever. Tony's death opens the door for new heroes to step up and for the MCU to evolve into something fresh. We get to see Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and Captain Marvel take on bigger roles and explore new stories. The MCU needed that shift to make room for new stories and these fresh faces. Without Tony's death, it would have been tough for the MCU to really move forward and embrace the next phase of storytelling. Take Spider-Man, for example. After Tony's death, Peter Parker is left to deal with the grief of losing his mentor. It's the perfect setup for the next phase of the MCU, and Tony's death is the catalyst for that change. His sacrifice allowed Marvel to respect the Avengers' legacy while opening up space for fresh storylines and different kinds of characters to expand the MCU. This shift lets the MCU expand into new territories, like with shows like WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and movies like Shang-Chi, without always being tied to the past. And honestly, Tony's death was a big part of how the MCU was able to mature. The stories were no longer just about the original Avengers. It was time for the universe to grow and include new voices and perspectives. With Tony gone, the MCU could broaden its horizons and go in new directions. But his legacy still lives on in the new characters and storylines that follow. His sacrifice gave the MCU the room it needed to evolve while still honoring what came before. Tony Stark's death wasn't just the end of a character arc, it was the MCU's way of moving on.
I think with a little more mentoring, he'd be a real asset to the team.
One of the biggest impacts of Tony's death was on Peter Parker, who was basically Tony's protege. In Spider-Man: Far From Home, we really see how much Tony's passing hits Peter. Tony was more than just a mentor. He was a father figure, guiding Peter through the ups and downs of being a young hero. After Tony's death, Peter is left to pick up the pieces of his life and his role in the world. He spends the movie struggling with whether he's ready to step into Tony's shoes and continue his legacy. But what's cool about Peter's journey is that it's not just about becoming the next Iron Man. It's about finding his own identity and figuring out how to be a hero on his own terms. The emotional journey Peter goes on trying to live up to Tony's expectations while also trying to be himself is one of the key storylines that moves forward in the MCU. Plus, Tony's tech, like the Iron Spider suit, becomes a big part of Peter's arsenal as he continues to fight bad guys in Tony's absence. With Tony gone, the Avengers need to change too. The original team wasn't going to stick around forever, and the new generation has to step up.
I'm putting together a team, and I want you on it.
That's where characters like Captain Marvel, Sam Wilson, who is now the new Captain America, each of them has a unique role to play in the future of the MCU. Sam taking on the mantle of Captain America is a huge moment because it's not just about holding on to Steve Rogers' legacy, it's about how Sam, with his own experiences and values, can redefine what it means to be Captain America. It's the same with Carol Danvers, who steps into a bigger role after Tony's death, dealing with cosmic-level threats and becoming a major player in the MCU's future. The new Avengers aren't just trying to replace the old crew, they're carving out their own space and creating fresh dynamics that keep the universe evolving. Even though Tony's gone, his tech is still shaping the MCU. His inventions, like the Iron Man suits, AI systems, and all the gadgets he created, continue to influence the world around him. Take Spider-Man, for example. Peter inherits a lot of Tony's tech, from the suit he uses to fight villains to the AI system that help him navigate his battles. Tony's tech plays a major role in how other characters, like Shuri in Black Panther, and the new characters in Armor Wars, continue to innovate and expand upon what Tony started. The tech is a double-edged sword, though. In Spider-Man Far From Home, we see the Edith system. Even dead, I'm the hero, a powerful AI Tony leaves behind, which Peter ends up inheriting. But with great power comes great responsibility, and Tony's tech can either be used for good or fall into the wrong hands, causing chaos. That theme of responsibility and the consequences of technology is something that will continue to play out in the MCU. Tony's death cleared the way for the next phase of storytelling, where the new generation could step in, take the reins, and build on the foundation he laid. It wasn't just an ending, it was a new beginning for the MCU. How do you think that the MCU will continue to evolve? Let us know in the comments. And also, remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching CBR.